Imagine a team that went from the basement of the NBA to becoming the definition of basketball excellence. A team that once traded away Wilt Chamberlain, struggled through decades of irrelevance, and was considered one of the worst franchises in sports. Now, they are the standard. Multiple championships, generational superstars, and a style of play that changed basketball forever. But how did it all happen? How did a franchise that spent years in the shadows become one of the greatest teams in NBA history? Today, we're breaking down how the Warriors became the Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are one of the NBA's oldest franchises, dating back to 1946 when they were founded as the Philadelphia Warriors. Fun fact, they actually won the first ever championship in NBA history in 1947, but don't let that fool you. This wasn't a franchise known for winning. After another title in 1956, they drafted a guy named Wilt Chamberlain in 1959. You may have heard of him, 7'1", dropped 100 points in a game, averaged 50 points per season. You know, casual Wilt things. But the Warriors, being the Warriors, managed to mess this up. In 1962, they moved to San Francisco, and just 3 years later, they traded Wilt to the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, they traded away the most dominant player of that era for a bag of peanuts. Imagine if the Bucks traded Giannis today for role players. That's how bad it was. With Wilt gone, the team went back to being irrelevant. But there was hope. A new star, Rick Barry, was drafted in 1965. He led them to the 1967 NBA Finals, only to lose to Wilt's Sixers. To make things worse, Barry left due to contract disputes. The Warriors were back to struggling, stuck in mediocrity. Ever wondered how many times a team can mess up before getting it right? Well, for the Warriors, the answer was a lot. But then, something crazy happened in 1975. The Warriors moved to Oakland in 1971 and officially became the Golden State Warriors. And just when fans thought they were cursed, Rick Barry returned. He led the team on an insane playoff run, and in 1975, they shocked the world by sweeping the heavily favored Washington Bullets to win the championship. It was one of the biggest upsets in NBA history, but just like before, success didn't last. The Warriors spent most of the 80s missing the playoffs and making terrible decisions. If you were a Warriors fan back then, you probably weren't a Warriors fan for long, but in the late 80s, a glimmer of hope appeared. A run-and-gun style of play that was as fun as it was chaotic. Welcome to the Run TMC era. What's worse? A team that never wins, or a team that teases you with greatness, only to fall apart right after? Because Warriors fans in this era definitely felt the latter. In 1989, the Warriors drafted Tim Hardaway and paired him with Mitch Richmond and Chris Mullin. These three were electric. They played at a breakneck pace, dropped crazy numbers, and made the Warriors exciting again. But in classic Warriors fashion, they broke up the trio after just 2 seasons. Imagine if the Splash Brothers never got a third season together. Yeah, it was that painful. Then came the dark times. The team drafted guys like Chris Webber, Vince Carter, and Gilbert Arenas, but management wasted their potential. From the mid-90s to 2007, they missed the playoffs for 12 straight seasons. 12! The Warriors were the NBA's punching bag, but in 2007, something magical happened. The 8th-seeded Warriors, known as the We Believe team, pulled off one of the greatest upsets in NBA history, knocking out the number 1 seed Dallas Mavericks in the first round. Oracle Arena was rocking. It was the first real taste of Warriors magic in decades. Unfortunately, that success was short-lived, and the Warriors went back to losing. But little did they know, their greatest era was about to begin. Could the Warriors ever turn a great moment into sustained success? That question was about to be answered in the best way possible. The year is 2009. The Warriors are, well, still the Warriors, stuck in mediocrity, missing the playoffs, and making questionable front office decisions. But with the 7th pick in the NBA draft, they select a skinny kid from Davidson named Stephen Curry. At the time, nobody thought he'd be a franchise savior. He was undersized, had ankle issues, and some scouts doubted if he could even survive in the NBA. But little did they know, this pick would change the entire history of the league. At first, it didn't look promising. Curry kept getting injured, and the Warriors were on the verge of trading him for Andrew Bogut. Yep, they almost gave away their future for an aging center. But fate, or more accurately, Steph's bad ankles, saved them. The trade didn't happen, and the Warriors unknowingly kept their golden ticket. Fast forward to 2010, and new ownership takes over. Joe Lacob and Peter Guber buy the team, and suddenly, there's a real plan in place. They drafted Klay Thompson in 2011, and in 2012, they added Draymond Green, an undersized second-round pick who would become the heart and soul of the team. The puzzle pieces were coming together, but the Warriors were still missing something, a leader who could unlock their full potential. In 2014, they fired Mark Jackson, controversial at the time, and brought in Kerr. And then, everything clicked. In 2015, Steph won MVP. The Warriors won 67 games, playing a brand of basketball the league had never seen before. They stormed through the playoffs, reached the NBA Finals, and beat LeBron James's Cleveland Cavaliers. Just like that, the Warriors are NBA champions for the first time in 40 years. But they weren't done. 2016 rolls around, and the Warriors don't just defend their title, they rewrite history. A 73-9 record, the best regular season record ever. Steph becomes the first unanimous MVP in NBA history, pulling up from 35 feet like it's a layup. It was pure dominance. Then came the finals. Up 3-1 against the Cavs, it looked like another ring was inevitable, but we all know what happened next. Draymond gets suspended, LeBron goes beast mode, Kyrie hits that shot, and the Warriors complete one of the worst collapses in NBA history. Heartbreaking, absolutely. But what did the Warriors do next? Oh, they just pulled off the greatest free agent signing of all time, Kevin Durant. What would you have done if you were in the Warriors front office after 2016? Panic or pull off the greatest free agency signing in NBA history? Adding Kevin Durant in 2016 made the Warriors unstoppable. They bulldozed through the league, winning back-to-back titles in 2017 and 2018, with KD winning Finals MVP both times. But by 2019, cracks started forming. KD and Draymond had beef. You know what I'm talking about. Warriors versus Clippers. Game on the line. Draymond grabs the rebound and KD claps for the ball like, "Yo, I'm Kevin Durant." But Draymond? Nah. On the bench, Draymond torches KD, shouting, "We don't need you, we won without you." Ouch! That beef simmered all season, and after the finals, KD was gone. Klay tore his ACL, KD tore his Achilles and left for Brooklyn. The Warriors lost the finals to the Raptors, and just like that, the dynasty seemed over. But like all great teams, they bounced back. They drafted James Wiseman, traded for Andrew Wiggins, and by 2022, they were champions again. Klay was back, Wiggins was a star, and Steph, still that dude. And today the Warriors are once again looking to evolve. With Jimmy Butler joining the Big Three, can they add another chapter to their legendary history? What do you think? Is there still one more championship left in this core? From Wilt to Run TMC, we believe to the Curry era, this team has seen it all. So what do you think? Can the Warriors win another title with their current squad? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more NBA stories. If you like underdog stories, you might want to click on this video. This underdog is perhaps one of the smoothest operators in the NBA.